Hey guys, um I haven't done one of these in quite a while. I think I did a few for fuck, what was it? I think it was like some Eminem album. I think I've only done like a tier list like once, maybe twice. Trying to think. I know I definitely did the album one a few years ago, but um yeah, I just fucking I've been playing a little bit more zombies recently, more than I had before. Like went back and played some of the BO3, and I tried to play BO4 today, but I only have BO4 on the PS4, so and I don't have live because I the only reason I ever had any like PlayStation like the PlayStation 4 was literally just because of the DLCs being on there early, and now that they're not, I just play it on the PC. I don't even like I haven't even turned on my PS4 before today in like fuck I want to say like over a year, but um yeah, so I don't know. I thought I'd do one of these because I don't think I've done one of these, but yeah, so it has like every map on here. Um, it doesn't have extinction, which is good because I've never played extinction. Like I played the first map, but I haven't played the rest of them. Um, I'm also on. I do have a Blue Yeti, but I didn't want to use it because it's like midnight and like you got to talk a little bit louder into that thing, or you have to turn the gain up. And if you turn the gain up, you can hear like you'd be able to hear my computer like obnoxiously loud. So that's also why I'm being a little bit more quiet. But yeah. So also I was looking through a bunch of these tier lists and like fuck like all of them like they either like didn't have like some of the maps for some reason, like some of them were Treyarch only, some of them didn't have like exo zombies for some reason, stuff like that. But I found this tier list. I don't know, somebody made it I guess a couple weeks ago, but I don't know who made it, but whoever made it did a pretty good list. Painful. I'll fix that for him. Painful. Lackluster average. This is a good ranking system too. So I'm gonna go in chronological order from when they were released. So I do have a um good fucking I don't know what the word is, but I've been playing since Noct came out in 2008. Because I get the CODs every year since like Finest Hour, and that came out in 2004. So um I was really early on zombies. Like I think I played Noct like 3 4 days after World of War came out because you had to beat the campaign at that time to be able to play it. But yeah, so um the earlier maps like World at War, they're harder to rank just because like you obviously have to like take in consideration like how old they are and shit and like what they had, how many people they had working on it and all that. So I probably put Noct in. God, it's such a hard. I probably put in um probably Lackluster just because I don't know. It is like an extremely like boring map. And it's not very challenging if you you know how to play the map. Like you can get to like fucking 1500 on this map, like if you really know how to play it. But um, they obviously isn't the Chronicles versions in here too. I'm just taking the um, I'll just take the original version or kind of both. They don't really change much in my opinion. I know the Chronicles version has like the Thunder Gun and like the BO1 version. I think has the Thunder. Yeah, I think they both have the Thunder Gun. But obviously the no, the first version literally just has the ray gun, one box, no perks, all that, like one, two, three doors, and then the fucking sniper cabinet thing. But yeah, so probably have to put that in. I'm gonna put it in average just because it's the first map ever. But then for Brucked, I have to put in lackluster. It's World of War Verrucht is probably one of the fucking hardest maps ever. Mainly because of how buggy the World of War system is, but also because of it being it's just such a close quarters map. Like Verrucht and Shangri-La just are like super similar in that way. Except at least Shangri-La is like a really good wonder weapon and like a pack a punch and fucking you know. But yeah, I do remember the first time playing Verrucht. I was at my cousin's house. Would have been like a couple like the day after it came out or some shit. And um I don't even know if I remember it like when it came out, not even knowing until then, but I think I went home and bought it a couple days later. I was also like 11 or 10 or 11 when this came out. So I was very young. But yeah, it's wild that these maps have been out for like Noct is over 30, like it'll be 14 years old at the end of this year, which is crazy. But um, yeah, and then Shinonuma, I'd also put an average. It did have the Wonder Off, which is a big upgrade. And other than that, first, no, not first trap ever, that was on first ever like um fucking transport type thing with the little what the fuck's it called? The I forgot, just like the gondola type thing that goes from fish. I don't even remember the fucking location names, but it goes from one thing to the spawn kind of. Um, yeah, Shananuma obviously also being like the easiest map ever to get, like it's the only map possible really to get over like 2,000 I think, and the record for Shananuma is 10,000 just because there's the Wonder Waff, there's every 5 rounds is a dog round, so you get a max ammo. There's only 24 zombies around, and there's also the insta kill round. So yeah, all that adding in makes the map easy. Plus, there's like spots that are like pretty trainable. You know, there's on each one of the 4 locations of the map, there's like a decently um trainable map or trainable area. Sorry, what the fuck? Okay, never mind. But yeah, and then Deriz we're gonna have to put near perfect. I don't know why it's near perfect. I'm gonna change that to perfect. Um, but yeah, Deriz is like if people, you know, how people like a lot of people do. Some people do these lists and pick their favorite maps off nostalgia. I really don't, but I do understand that these World at War maps are, you know, you got to kind of look at them for like the time they came out. Like Deriz came out in 2009, so like obviously if you compare that to, you know, I don't know, any new map, like even like fucking Durang Fang or whatever. Actually, can't compare it to that. I don't know any of these like newer maps. It's really hard to compare just because it's like so, you know, it's so old and there was really no dev team. It was kind of like a side project. Um, but yeah, Deriz is definitely like up there just because I spent so much time on it back in the day, right when it came out, and it is really like the highest round I've ever gotten. I think it's the second highest round because I did get like 113 a couple years ago on Blood of the Dead, but that was a lot easier than Deriz. And I'm not really like somebody. I'm not like a high round player in quotations. Like I could be if I wanted to. Like a lot of these records, I don't really look at and like holy shit that's hard. Like I feel like I could beat a lot of them. But it's just like time consuming obviously, and I'm way too lazy to do that fucking shit. Like it's amazing how much time people can sit there and like focus and all that. But yeah, so I did get 112 back in the day. I want to say like 2010 maybe on Deriz World of War, which is obviously like I think that'd be like the ninth highest round ever or some shit on this map on World of War. But you go into the leaderboards now, doesn't show that unfortunately because I had um my account on one of the hacked lobbies or whatever, and like even though I was master prestige already, like my account got boosted up, and like if you look at all my leaderboards, I have like 20 zillion kills and all that shit. So, that's pretty unfortunate. But yeah, and I didn't have a capture card at the time, because this is before Elgato, and you had to use like a fucking, what are they called? Fuck. Oh, I can't remember the word, but or I can't remember what they're called, but they were before Elgatos. They were shittier ones. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember what they're called, but yeah. So put that there, and also I'm gonna put these in. Ooh, wait, what is better, Sheena Noom or Noct? I'm gonna go with Sheena Noom is better because it does have the Wonder Waff, which is one of my favorite wonder weapons of all time. But yeah, then we'll go with Kino. I'm also gonna put in um average, but I'm gonna put it above both these maps. Sheena Noom is probably the most overrated map of all time. A lot of people fucking There's a lot of like usually casuals who think it's like the best map or whatever, but I like the Thunder Gun, but the map really doesn't add anything from Deriz. It's basically the same thing. I guess it's like the first map ever to have its own like hidden not hidden, but like a pack-a-punch location like up in a spot where like by itself. Yeah, where like zombies don't attack you. Same thing with like I don't know. There's some other maps that have that. Fuck. What other maps have that? I don't want to look through other maps. I know there's a couple other maps that definitely have that type of like thing where the pack-a-punch machine's by itself. But yeah. So what was it? Yeah, that's pretty much all it added. Didn't add a new perk. Um, yeah, didn't really fucking add anything to be honest. And then we got five, which I'd also probably like. They have classified on here, right? I didn't actually. Yeah, they do. Okay. So with some remastered maps, um, like the fucking Zombie Chronicles, there's not really a difference in many of the maps, but with classified and or to be, am I fucking retarded? The Giant. There's a pretty big difference with those maps, especially classified. So it's good that these are on this list, but um, fuck. To be honest, I'd probably put five in good. Just because one, I really like the boss in that map, the Pentagon Thief. He's really fucking cool. Forget his actual name because he is actually in Tagged or in Toten, I believe, and he's mentioned in a couple other maps, I think. Um, but yeah, he's in a little bit of the lore. Like he's part of the whole storyline of zombies. I don't know everything. Like one of my friends knows a lot more than I do, but I do know like, you know, a decent bit. I do kind of understand like what's going on, but I don't know every detail in the fucking storyline. But yeah, and then the fucking Winter's Howl is like pretty underrated. Like it is not great, but like it's not like it isn't terrible, terrible. I said in five, I don't really haven't played five in a really long time, like the BO1 version, so I don't fully remember, but I do know in Classified people still shit on it, and it's extreme. It is not extremely good, but it is pretty good in Classified. Like it's a slightly like better single shot of the ice staff. Actually, I'd say a decent amount better because the single shot on the ice staff is pretty bad, but um, yeah, I think the Winter's Howl, especially in Classified, is really good. But the map is still cool. I like the characters in it, like JFK and fucking um, what else is in it? Ronald Reagan, is he in it? No, no, not Ronald Reagan. What am I talking about? What's his name? Fuck, I don't know. Castro's in it, and then the other two dudes, Nixon and the fucking secretary or whatever his name is. I know what he looks like. I just can't think of his name. Uh, yeah. But other than that, they also added. Oh no, the jumper jacks were also in Kino, right? Yeah. What else did they have on that map? I don't know. The DEF CON shit was cool. I don't know. Yeah. What else put it in good? Ascension. I used to probably think it was great, but I'm probably gonna have to go more for like the top of good. Um, the map is just really simple, and it is kind of boring after a while. And they kind of did not copy and paste, but it would have been cooler to see like another wonder weapon. The Thunder Gun is still, cool, and I get why they added it, but yeah, it fits that map more than it fits Kino. So honestly, it would have been better if Kino had some other wonder weapon. But yeah, the Moonlanders on the map are really sick. The only thing that kind of ruins the map are the monkeys are cool, but they should. I feel like you should know when they're going for the perks. Like it's a lot easier to like kill them without taking your perks. So I was actually playing it the other day, and especially on Chronicles, it'd be really annoying because if you had Perkaholic, you cannot defend all the perks by yourself, especially like it's impossible. So they're like guaranteed taking a perk, which is like really fucking annoying. So on that map, you can really only rock like 4 or 5 perks. And even then, you're probably not gonna be able to defend all of them. Yeah, it's fucking tough, but um, Yeah, the best thing about the map is honestly the Moonlander things. Those are really fucking cool. Other than that, the map is really easy. Um, there's two really extremely easy training spots. One being where the second lander is, I guess, or would that be the first lander? I forget. The one by where PhD is, or in BO3, I think Widow's Wine's there. Um, it's like the easiest camp training spot like ever. It's such a wide open space. And then where Pack-a-Punch is pretty easy to train into, so the map is really fucking easy. But especially in the low rounds, I don't really know about high rounds because I don't. I think I've gone to Ascension. I think I've gone to 100 on Ascension like once before, but I've never, like I said, like pretty much every map. I've only tried to go to 100 and like fuck threes, and then another. I want to say like 4 or 5 maps on here, but every time we got to 100, I usually get to 110 at most or 113 at most, and then I usually back out just because like it's so time consuming. But yeah. Uh, and then we got Call of the Fucking Dead. I'm gonna put that right there. I remember the day Call of the Dead came out. Because at the time, obviously, I had an Xbox. Because I've always, well, I had the PS2 before I had an Xbox. I never had the original Xbox, but um, yeah, when the 360 came out, I played so many fucking like I had so many different games I played on the 360. Like I don't even know how to fucking explain it. But where was I going with this? I don't even know where I was going with this. Yeah. So when it came out, I had an Xbox. I don't know where I was going with that, but so I had the map first day. And I remember I didn't go to school. I must have been in I don't know this seventh grade or something like that when this or grade seven when this map came out. Um, but I do remember getting it and being extremely excited. I don't know why I was so excited for this map especially, which is weird because it's like, you know, it's one of my favorite maps of all time. Um, but for some reason I was just like way more excited than I usually was for this map, and maybe it was because of the trailer that came out. Um, but yeah, Call of the Dead. Uh, fuck. Um, yeah, but I remember just playing it the first day it came out, and I instantly like loved the map when it came out. And yeah, the only thing that isn't really great about the map is the two wonder weapons are kind of underpowered. Like the VR11 is well, it's useless on solo. Like it's like the worst wonder weapon ever on solo. But on co-op, it can be extremely good. Um, but not for you. It's more for your teammate because like if you haven't, you shoot your teammate. I think they get like double the damage, and they're like you can't see them or whatever. Like they're John Cena basically. Like the zombies can't see them or see him. Like he goes invisible to zombies, like the character that you shoot or whatever the fuck. But yeah, that's kind of like I don't know. That's kind of weird. Um, but yeah, the and then the scavenger is like really only like a one shot up until like 50. I don't know why, but they should have definitely buffed it. Other like if they did buff it to be like one shot until I don't know 150 or something like most of the other wonder weapons like are infinite damage. It would definitely be up there for like the best wonder weapon of all time. It is like in my probably top five favorite just because of how cool it is. Like I love the noise it makes. The upgraded when it goes into thermal looks really cool, and it just looks really cool. And it's really fun to use. It actually like takes skill to use. It's not just like a one shot gun that fucking instantly kills everything. You shoot it and you have to wait for the thing to beat basically and blow up. But yeah, it also has the monkey bomb effect, which is cool. But um, yeah, it's just fucking disappointing that they kind of made it like it's not terrible. It's not as bad as some people say it is, but it's definitely not great. But yeah. Um, so is that and then they also had a dead shot in the Call of the Dead. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned Ascension. They added PhD. And you also really you need PhD for the scavenger. Um, but yeah, I'm just trying to think. Is there fucking anything else really on the map? This no, the sickle was also added in Ascension. The zip lines are cool. The fucking things that on the boat that like fucking launches you is really cool. Um, yeah, there's a lot of the characters are really dope. Like maybe my favorite character set of all time, just because I really like the fucking all the like horror movie characters or whatever. Or actors like Robert Englund and Sarah Michelle Gellar and Danny Trejo and was it Michael Rooker? Um, yeah, they're all really dope. And then George Romero, I know a lot of people hate that boss, but um, especially since I've done the Easter egg, it's really cool when you kill him, you get a Wonder Waff and you get like a free perk and shit. He does come back like I think after you kill him, he comes back like after every 3 rounds or something like that, or like after 3 rounds after you kill him. But uh, yeah, he still is a really cool boss. But and then we got Shangri-La. Where should I put Shangri-La? Right, hurry up too, just because I'm fucking talking about each map for like an hour. But Shangri-La. I didn't really think about a lot of these maps where I'd put them beforehand, but I probably also put Shangri-La on average right behind Kino. Um, actually, no, we're gonna put it above Kino. The Wonder Weapon's really cool and really fun to use. I was actually playing Shangri-La and Chronicles last night, or no, 2 nights ago. Yeah, I think it was 2 nights ago, or maybe it was last night. I No, it was definitely last night. Um, but yeah, the baby gun of the fractalizer is really fun to use. What else did they? They didn't add a new perk in that map. They added the spike mores, which are like the claymores with the spikes, which are really cool. But they're not on Chronicles. It's only on the BO1 version. The Easter egg's really cool. Um, Clips mode. What else do they add? The monkeys that come and kind of take your power ups and they can like switch them and shit, which is really cool. And you can get it to turn into a free perk, but it's like really hard to do. Like it's fucking tedious as shit to do that. They didn't really add anything else into that map. The map's just really close quarters. Like I said when I was talking about Varrock, it is a really hard map. Um, but yeah, a lot of the maps, like when they're really challenging, they make it better. But I don't know with Shangri-La. I feel like this map would have been better if they kind of made it a little bit, a little bit like I don't know, easier. I feel like for especially a lot of people. I don't really find any of these maps like hard. I mean, Varrock World of War is definitely tough, but Shangri-La, like I got to like fucking, I don't remember what round I was on, like 40 or whatever, and I backed out last night, and it was like not really like that challenging, especially with Gobblegums, like especially with ultra rares, it's a fucking cakewalk. But um, yeah, so that's where I put Shangri-La. I also do, when Shangri-La came out, the only memory I really have is watching the trailer and being like, that looks sick. I don't really remember the first time playing the map, um, or any really other, you know, memories other than that. I feel like after Call of the Dead is when I started playing less and less zombies up until really like um 2014 probably, like a year after the BO3 BO2 map DLCs came out. So definitely Shangri-La was when I started playing less and less. Um I feel like Call of the Dead was the height of like how much I played zombies. Like it was like the most I had played zombies up until like really like BO3 came out probably. But yeah. Uh and then okay, and then Moon I'd probably put in great. The map visually, especially on Chronicles, looks really dope. Same with Shangri-La. But yeah, the Wonder Weapon is hella fun to use. The zap guns and the wave gun. It's like the first Wonder Weapon ever where you could. There's like 2 different versions of it. Kind of you could like dual wield it or pull it into one. Um, and yeah, they added Mule Kick on this map, I think. Yeah, and then they got added on the rest of the maps. But Easter egg was super fun. It was a really cool Easter egg. You get to blow up the Earth and all that. What else did they add? Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention they added Creature devices in Ascension. They're also in the rest of the maps, and they're not in Shangri-La, but it's also in Call of the Dead and in Moon. They added the QEDs. Um, oh, what else did they add? The QEDs, the hacker device, and the fucking the suit thing you need to go outside or whatever. But those are really only like limited to just that map. Um, yeah, they added the dude the astronaut that comes up and Jews your perks, which is pretty annoying. But yeah, Moon's a really fun map. I did also play Moon right when it came out, but like I said, I really slowed down on how much I was playing. Like wasn't really playing zombies and Call of Duty as much at this time. I still played it, but just not as much as I did, you know, months previous, like when Call of the Dead and Ascension came out. Um, I don't know. I just kind of got bored of it. I don't know. But yeah, and then we got Transit. Transit, especially on solo, is terrible. It's only made slightly better by the bank, to be honest, just because it's way easier to set up with the bank. And the fucking storage locker fridge thing. Um, Wonder Weapon's terrible on the map. Didn't really add. I mean, added actually it did add a lot of like core mechanics that would be used in like other games, like the buildable tables, and just certain shit like that. Probably gonna have to put it in just bad. Um, I don't think it's like the worst map ever, but I just feel like they could have done so much more, and this map would have definitely been a lot better on like newer consoles, just with better hardware. Um, if the denizens weren't in the map, there wasn't so much fucking lava and fog. I feel like the map would have been a lot better. The only thing I can really say about this map is they did add Galva Knuckles, and the Avogadro is a pretty cool boss. I think probably most people think it's shit, but I do like how it looks. It does look pretty cool. And it also came back in Alpha Omega, I think, right? Yeah. Other than that, the jet gun's terrible. The bus is kind of cool. It is a cool idea, but you know, it's like you have to use the bus to get around. Well, you don't have to, but it's like you basically have to stay in these areas, and if you don't have the bus, it's like a pain in the bitch to run, especially if you don't have Galvanuckles and stamina. Um, but yeah, and then we got Bus Depot. I'm gonna put in. Um, where should I put Bus Depot? I'm gonna put Bus Depot in bad. Also, I'm gonna put it behind that. I did get to like 40 something solo on Bus Depot with just a ray gun. It wasn't even the Mark II. This was before the Mark II came out, or before Buried came out. I don't think. I think the Mark II is in the map now, but like after Buried came out, but I can't remember. Yeah, there's literally only I think just Quick Revive on the map and one box, and that's it. And it's like the fucking smallest map ever. Like other than Groskin House, however you pronounce that, I think it might be the smallest map ever. Definitely smaller than Noct. But yeah, it's literally just the spawn of Transit. Like it's got really nothing. It's pretty bare bones. And then Farm, I will put in Lackluster behind Verrucht. Yeah, it's got boxes and one box location. It's got 4 perks. Like I said, that's like the third area on Transit. Um, Bus Depot, and then Diner, and then Farm, and then what's after Farm? The fucking Power, and then what's after Power? Is it the town? I can't remember. Um, but yeah, Farm's just a slightly better version of Bus Depot, a little bit bigger. Um, is there a Pack-a-Punch on the map? No, there isn't. Is there? I feel like there is a Pack-a-Punch on it. Actually, no. No, I don't think there is. But yeah, and then we got Town, which I'm going to put in um average, but I'm gonna put it right behind Kino. Fuck, should I move Kino up? No. Um, hmm, no. Um, yeah, Town's got a pack a punch. It's got uh all the perks basically. I think it has Tombstone in it, right? Yeah. This is just the last area on Transit. Pretty bare bones. Doesn't really have anything to it. It is definitely good on that BO2 added these maps like Town, Farm, and Bus Depot, even though they aren't great. Because if there was only really Transit, it would have been and Nuketown, it would have been fucking a like not a terrible launch. It was a terrible launch, but it just made it so there was more to play. I don't know. BO2 I think had the absolute worst launch just because all the maps are really boring or really ass. Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of. I mean, other than like as Treyarch, it definitely BO2 definitely had the worst launch. I would say Exo Zombies might have had a worse launch. I don't know. I can't really remember. But yeah. And then Nuketown we're gonna put in painful. I think it's the worst map of all time, quite possibly. I did get to like 40 something on solo. It is definitely a very hard map, but it's just too small. There's really nothing to it. It's just like a bare bones map. But the thing that makes it worse is one, the perks don't spawn in right away. You get a perk or the Pack-a-Punch machine every 5 rounds, and it comes from the sky like a fucking um asteroid or some shit, and lands on the map. So it's possible, I think, to not get Jug or Pack-a-Punch until like 20 or 25, which is fucking like retarded. Like I know you on round one you get perk or the Pack-a-Punch machine, and then every 5 rounds after that, I think one spawns in. But yeah, there's like two, maybe three box locations on this map. There's really just nothing to the map. I know it has the bunker and like Marlton's in there or some shit. I know if you like knife it, he knocks on it and has like a quote or something. But yeah, overall, the map is just fucking terrible. Die Rise. Well, that was really loud. Where would I put Die Rise? I'm probably gonna put Die Rise in average, and I'm gonna put it above all these and behind Kino. Die Rise was honestly like the pinnacle, believe it or not, for me of how much I played BO2. Like when the game was out. Yeah, Die Rise was really the only map I really remember having like a lot of like memories of when it came out. Because like after Die Rise, I actually stopped playing zombies and really COD in general for like a good year, like good year and a bit. Just because I was like so bored of it, and I was playing other games, just like Gears and Mortal Kombat and shit, and I just got tired of COD to be honest. I've been playing it at that point for like 10 years, but um, yeah, Die Rise was. I don't think it's actually as bad as some people think it is, which is hilarious because I always used to shit on the map, but now I almost have to defend it. But yeah, yeah, yeah. The Slickifier obviously pre-patch was like really broken. I liked. I don't know. The map was just like interesting. I feel like it would have worked a lot better on um Grief because Grief was only really on town, farm, and buried and mob, which is retarded. They definitely it would have been really fun on Origins and Die Rise, and especially Die Rise. I feel like it would have been the best on just because of how easy it is. Like I feel like that's the map that you can grief the hardest with the trample steam and the fucking what other shit was there on the map? The Select Fire you could probably use, but just how like you could fall off the map and die so easily. But yeah, I remember playing this map. Like if you go back on my YouTube, a lot of my early ass videos, like within the first month or two, um, of uploading on this channel, there was actually a lot of Die Rise videos, which is hilarious because they're like so bad. It's like me trying to record it with my phone, um, and like a lot of videos I spelt wrong. I spelt like strategies wrong and shit like that, which is just so funny, and I never changed it because it's just so funny. But um, yeah, they also added Husu, which is like a pretty bad perk, but I do like the jingle. I like how the perk looks, but you know, its use is pretty terrible. Um, I think it also added the no, I was about to say the teleporting jumping jacks, but I think those are added on like BO or I think those are added on Moon or some shit. But I'm trying to think of what else it added. Didn't really add anything else, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. The map also had the bank on it too, which made it a lot easier. You could literally set up on round one. So there's that, and the select fire was you get 3 parts that are all in the same area, and it's like mind-numbingly easy to build. Takes you like literally 20 seconds. Um, but yeah. So yeah, And then Mob of the Dead, I'll put in. Um, I'm gonna put in Great, and I'm gonna put it above Moon. To be honest, like just until recently, I started ranking it a little bit better. I If it was before, I probably would have put it at the end of oh shit, the end of Good, just because of like how much people overrate the map. But it is still it is like a really good map. I really like the setting, like Alcatraz, and I really like the characters, but I don't know, something with the map also isn't. It's just I don't like the purgatory mode. I don't like how you can like just constantly down with that shit. It kind of makes the map almost too easy. Um, and then I like the acid gat. The acid gat's good, although it was kind of ass after like round 50, like 45. It became pretty ass. But yeah, I think it was also I want to say the first map that added its own um specialist weapon that you had to like kind of craft and you can upgrade and shit, which was really cool. And then there was a golden spork, which is also really good. I think the first melee weapon you had to like almost craft too. You didn't have to craft them, you just did like a little um almost Easter egg and shit. You don't build them at a crafting table, but you kind of like do a couple steps and then they appear. But yeah, so the Hell's Retriever and the Hell's Redeemer is the upgraded version. You basically had to use those for high rounds, but they were really fun to use. I really like the plane onto and then you crash in the Alcatraz bridge. That was all good, but I just feel like the map would have been a lot better without the purgatory, and I feel like a lot of people just kind of like overrate the map. It is a really good map, but I don't think it's like the best map. I feel like it honestly could have been better. I don't know what it is about the map that would have made it better, but I feel like there's just something that would have made the map better. Um, but uh, yeah, the Pack-a-Punch map in this, or the Pack-a-Punch camo on this map is also really cool. Like the afterlife or whatever. But yeah, and then we got Buried, which I will put it. Where would I put Buried? Let me think. I'm gonna put Buried at the end of Good. I know I'm gonna put it. Such a hard choice. I'm just trying to think of that. Like I literally played it a couple of days ago, but yeah, I'm gonna put it right there. Um, I do like the fucking perk. Why am I forgetting what it's called? Um, Vulture. It is a cool perk. It's got like multiple uses. Like you can hide in the green gas that appears from dead zombies, and like the zombies, you'll be hidden from them for whatever it is. You can pick up ammo and money off the dead zombies. You can see through like the walls and shit on like for like the wall buys and perks and pack a punch and um boxes and all that shit. Yeah, the paralyzer is also really fun. One of the most fun wonder weapons to use. Not just because it doesn't just kill zombies, but it's used as like a transportation weapon, like a movement kind of weapon. Like you can like shoot it at your feet and fly around with it and shit, and get over certain walls that you wouldn't be able to, and get to certain spots that you wouldn't be able to unless you had the paralyzer. But yeah, and then this map also added the Mark II. The Mark II got added to the rest of the maps, which is really dope. Trying to think what else. Yeah, the map had the chalks, and yeah, I like the pack punch, how to get there. Like the witches were really cool. Those like mini boss kind of things. The big dude, his name. It's not Leroy, is it? That's what people call him, but um, I forget what his actual fucking name is. Maybe it is Leroy, but he had like two names, and there was also always people always called him one, and it was always like incorrect. It was always the other one. I can't remember if Leroy is the right one or the wrong one, but the big, tall, 8 foot tall fucking dude. He was pretty cool. You can give him candy, and he can break down barriers and hold zombies and like move the box and certain shit. So that's where I put Buried. Then Origins, we're gonna have to put right there in S. I think Origins is probably the one map that's like I I fuck, I'm choking on fucking water. Um, I think Origins is like the one map where I'd honestly like agree with people the most on how good it is. I know some people think it's like overrated and think like certain maps that I haven't got to yet are better, but I think Origins is like the perfect map to be honest, especially on Chronicles. Like I know a lot of people complain Goblins make it easier, but Honestly, like they just make it more fun. Like I rather just have perkaholic right off the bat and not have to buy perks. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't really like early round shit. I don't know. Like zombies does get really boring high round, but I feel like it gets really boring and annoying setting up every game, especially on a map like Origins where it's very tedious. You gotta buy your perks, build the shield, get your staff, upgrade the staff, open all the generators. Especially if you do like lightning staff, you gotta go on the fucking. And if it's on solo, you gotta go around the tank twice usually, because the second and third part, I usually fucking don't make it. Um, but yeah, the map can be very tedious to set up on, but I know a lot of people think setting up is the most fun part, which it usually is, but I don't know. I just really like the map. The boss, the Panzer is really fucking dope. All the staffs is like the first map ever where you could have four winter weapons that were all like the same kind of thing, like a staff, but different elemental things. Uh, yeah, the Maxis drone's really cool. The Thunder Clap or the Thunder Punch thing is really cool. The mortars were really good. The fucking big robots that would step on you, it added another dimension of like how you could die in zombies. It wasn't just zombies and zombie bosses could kill you. It was like the actual map could kill you too if you're not paying attention. Um, Golden helmet from the dig sites, golden shovel. Like they added a lot of fucking really, I don't want to use the word, but like revolutionary shit. Pack-a-Punch camo was really cool in this map. There was the trials. I think this is the first map ever that added trials. Um, yeah, definitely. And then yeah, there's just so many buildables, so many cool things. The Easter egg was really good. Um, but yeah, the map, like, I don't ever see Call of Duty or Activision or Treyarch or whoever making a better map than Origins. I'll just say right now, I think Origins is the best map of all time. It's probably been my favorite for like, I don't know, 7 years probably. Um, really since I started like playing it because, believe it or not, actually, I didn't mention this, but starting with Mob, I actually don't think I didn't play Mob right when it came out. I'm pretty sure I had the seasons pass, but I just stopped playing after Die Rise. Not because it was like bad. I mean, Die Rise wasn't great, but I was just like bored of it to be honest. Um, but yeah. And then when Buried came out, I remember my brother having it and watching him play it and thinking, oh, that's pretty cool, but I never bothered playing it. And then Origins, I don't even remember it coming out. I don't even remember it existing until like 2 months after it came out. Like a month after it came out. I can't really remember. I do remember playing it like a couple times, like before the year ended. Like it came out in like August or some shit on the 360 on the Xbox, and then yeah, I do remember playing it like at least within like 4 months after it coming out. But I think I played it like twice, and I remember the first time I played it, some dude built a staff for me, and I just went down there and took it, and it was the lightning staff, which is my favorite staff to use to date. It's like the only one I ever build when I play the map. But yeah, I just fucking I don't know. It was weird. I play the map really at all, or like any of BO2, then Die Rise and like everything before that. Like I didn't play Buried Mob or Origins really until like a year after they had come out when I started playing them again. That was when I started playing zombies again because um one of my friends who I kind of became friends with that year played a lot of zombies, and like I was always just tired of playing solo or like with people I didn't know because at that time like um a lot of my friends really didn't play zombies a lot, and like this is the only person I really played with before that was like my brother and his friends, and then he stopped playing zombies really. So yeah, but um yeah, it's funny also if you look at starting with Die Rise as the deal, like all the DLCs, I have them ranked one, but like Die Rise came out, then Buried, then Mob, and Origins, like they're slowly one rank better. I might even put Buried and Die Rise on the same level, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to rank these fucking maps. Like, you know, some days, you could have Die Rise fucking here. Some days you have it here, but um, yeah. For now, fuck. I might even. Hmm. I might put Dai-Rise better. I'm gonna put Dai-Rise better than Kino. Honestly, Kino is just such a boring map to be honest, and it adds nothing like to the story or like the fucking game mechanics that like the core game mechanics in zombies. That, like it's just I don't know. And I never had like high nostalgia for it. I honestly think I played five more when BO came out, BO1 came out than I did Kino. Um, but yeah, so that's it for BO2. Outbreak AW. I do remember playing this the day it came out. Probably put it in lackluster, right above farm. I'll put it above Rucked, honestly. Um, I know that some people think this is like the best map from AW. I think it's pretty fucking boring. I just remember it being not very big and not being interested in the storyline and the AW mechanics being fucking terrible. They should have just made AW like zombies non-jetpack. Like I really like AW. I really like the campaign. The multiplayer is like literally probably my second or third favorite multiplayer ever. Um, Probably my second favorite to be honest after BO1. Um, like I really like the movement in multiplayer. I think it worked really well. I think it was the only good jetpack COD for multiplayer. But actually I didn't mind IW, but I really didn't like BO3 for multiplayer. Um, but yeah, I think the jetpacks and shit and like the EMP zombies just honestly like make all the maps more unlikable just because of how fucking shit the game or AW zombies was. Um, but yeah, and then infection. I actually don't hate infection as much as most people do. I'd probably honestly put it above outbreak at lackluster. It lets me. Um, I do remember being that alligator being in the sewer. I did play this map when it came out also because this is when I like started playing zombies again, and since honestly probably AW I guess I played every single DLC right when they came out. Um, except for like a couple maps. Like I didn't play Attack the Radioactive Thing right when it came out because I think I was in like California, like I was away or something like that. So I couldn't play the map, but other than that, I think every other map I like have played since like the day it came out or like the day after at least. But yeah, Infection I think is slightly better than Outbreak to be honest, just because I don't know. I honestly don't remember the wonder weapon in that map. I probably haven't played the map in 7 years, probably since within 6 months of the map coming out. Um, but yeah, I'm just trying to think. I just remember the alligator, and I remember the two sides where the Burger Town was, and slightly remember the other side. I just remember not hating it when I was playing it, but I definitely was like, yeah, this map isn't great. And I remember thinking the wonder weapon was not terrible, but I honestly can't remember what it was. Maybe it was the Cell 9 or whatever that shit was. But I think there was another one too. I honestly can't remember. I just do remember it being not a great map. Um, and then Carrier. Where would I put Carrier? I'd probably put Carrier in average, and I'd probably put it above Town. Trying to think. Yeah, I do remember actually enjoying the map a somewhat amount. Like I said, honestly, these maps are made a little bit worse just because of how bad the fucking movement was in AW zombies. Like the exosuits just made it so much worse. But yeah, that's probably where I put Carrier. Same thing. I don't really remember the wonder weapon in this map. I do remember like the robot thing that went around. I do remember weird shit about the map, like shooting the grenades and the little thing to get free points. And yeah, same thing. I haven't played it since around the time it came out, but just basing this off of the when I did play the map, and I do remember enjoying it a decent amount. But yeah, maybe yeah. And then Descent, believe it or not, I'd probably put at the top of good. Descent was actually a really good map, even though the fucking um like a really good map for AW, even though the jetpacks were fucking terrible. It yeah, I think it was I don't know. I do remember the Trident in that map, the fucking thing that shoots and like ricochets around and shit. And I really like the spawn room. It was like above the water, and then you go down, and it's like an underwater map kind of. but you don't actually really go in the water. There's just like glass surrounding you and shit. Um, yeah, and then I do remember like the Pack-a-Punch area where you go into that certain fucking area and shit. Like I said, I don't really remember a lot about AW, but I do remember enjoying this map a decent amount. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, AW is like the most forgettable zombies experience probably for me. Or like the least I remember. Even more than World War II. Just I feel like because with World War II, I um I I played with my friend. We had a four man like ever since um IW. I want to say I had like four people that I always started playing with. So you know back in the day when I was just playing solo, really it got a lot more boring because I wouldn't really do the EEs. I didn't really start doing all the Easter eggs until I had three other friends that we all started doing the Easter eggs, and so I've pretty much done all the Easter eggs of all these maps. Like I've gone back and done like the Chronicles ones and all that shit. The only maps I haven't really done is um any of the AW ones. I haven't done any of the AW ones. I don't think. I might have done the first one. I can't remember. I haven't done Buried. Um, never done Transit, and I haven't done a couple other maps in here. A couple of the IW maps I haven't done. A couple of the World War II maps I haven't done. But yeah, where was I? What map was I on? Yeah, Descent's a really good map, but yeah. Shadows we're gonna put in S tier. I'm gonna put right behind Call of the Dead. I remember right when it came out. Um, like if I had the same mindset as I did when it came out, I'd probably put it like in the top of good. But the map has honestly gotten better um as time goes by. I still did like the map right when it came out, but I remember not like thinking it was like the best map ever. Um, but yeah, I was very hyped for BO3. Um, and ever since BO3, I've played every map on release, or ever since AW. Um, yeah. Uh, but yeah, the only DLCs I actually ever missed on date were, I guess, Buried, Mob, and Origins. Just pretty sad. But um, yeah, Shadows is BO3 really. I know a lot of people think BO3 is like the best system or the best game for zombies. It's in my opinion, I think I like BO4 better, believe it or not, because I don't hate the HUD. I think the HUD's completely fine. I don't know why people hate the HUD so much. Like people think it's cluttered. I don't think it's cluttered. Um, yeah, I don't know. But I'm trying to think of what Shadows added. The Easter egg on Shadows was dope. The Apothecarian Servant's like the best one weapon of all time. It's better on Revelations than it is on this map, but because of there is no official Pack-a-Punch version on Shadows. There was a glitch for a while that I actually did, and it had a fuck ton of ammo. But trying to think, the rocket shield was really fun to use. The Easter egg was dope. They had like the wall riding area in the Pack-a-Punch, which is cool. The Margwas were a good boss. Um, I like bosses like the Panzers and the Margwas. You know, they're not they're not like they're the most tanky mini bosses kind of, but I kind of like those ones. Like I like it better than like fucking um Brutus. Like I think Brutus is a little bit too easy to kill, and he's a bit too simple. Where with the Panzer, he's got like he can claw you in, he can fucking burn you, he can shoot the electric things at you. He can just I think he can swipe and hit you. With the Margwas, he can like I think swipe, but his main thing is the fucking ground and pound thing, which can do a lot of damage. I think he could red screen you no matter what. Um, but he just looks cool with the three little heads and shit. Um, yeah, they added the system where it's like the pods and shit, which they also kind of brought back in Zetsubo. But um, yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Specialist abilities. I think BO3 was the first game that had the specialist abilities that you could build. Um, with like the sword and shit. Fuck, and the dude that you can craft. Why am I forgetting his name? Um, I forget his name, but the robot dude that you can build the Sir. Oh, fuck, what's Sir. God, I can't. It's on. That's in my tongue. I can't fucking think of what it's called. Oh, the dude that you build or whatever, and he can like shoot zombies and shit with you, and he flies around and all that. And then the gondola on that map's really cool too. Um, but yeah. And then that map also added Widow's Wine, which was like, which is a really dope perk. And I usually fucking get it when I play BO3. I know some people don't like it, but I like Widow's Wine. And then the Giant, which is a remake of Deriz. I'm gonna put it behind Moon, I'd say. It's just really the same thing as Deriz. But yeah, it doesn't really add anything. There is like a little mini Easter egg thing for the Annihilator. And there is an extra perk that you can get if you throw a monkey bomb into the 3 teleporters. Then like a bunch of snow. There's like a little part in spawn where there's like a bunch of snow and it'll like a ray will hit it and it'll melt the snow away, and then there's a perk under it which will either be stamina up or dead shot, which it's random every game. But yeah, those are the 2 maps where I feel like or the 2 perks that definitely good to add in that map, because dead shot's like really good for sitting on the catwalk, and then stamina up is good for training. But you can also just get perkaholic or on the house or one of those perk things that'll you'll get it anyway. But it's cool that they added it. The Wonder Waff looks really cool on the map, especially Pack a Punch. It's like pink. And is it like pink and purple? No, it's like pink and like whatever the other color is. But it looks the Wonder Waff looks really dope. Unfortunately, right when the map came out, it was pretty terrible. Then they buffed it, and it wasn't as bad. Um, but yeah, um, yeah. I'm just trying to think. There's really nothing else to the map. Um, it was just a really fun map to grind on, especially too. It was like the best, like the map I've played the most for just grinding XP, other than maybe Classified. I played a lot of Classified when BO4 came out. But yeah. Horizon, I'd put at um the end of Perfect. I don't know if I'd put it better than Deriz. I do like the bows. I don't think they're as good as the staves. I think the bows are honestly the worst out of the 3 staves, the bows, and the gauntlets on Ancient Evil. But I do like the lightning bow might be the best out of all. Like before it was fucking nerfed like recently, or like 3 years ago or something they nerfed it. I don't know why, but um yeah, I'm trying to think. What if I put it better than Deriz? Um, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna put it there for what it added. The bows are cool, but it kind of almost feels like a copy and paste Origins. Not really. Not really a copy and paste, but like I don't know. It does add a decent amount. Like I really like the location, Swiss Alps or wherever the fuck it is. And yeah, but it is very similar to Origins in the way that like there's 4 wonder weapons. There's the Panzer still. Um, but I do like the launch pads. Those were cool. Um, type of transportation thing. There is 3 different Pack-a-Punch locations it moves around. I feel like that's maybe no, that can't be like the first ever Pack-a-Punch location that kind of moves. I mean Nuketown technically, but not really. But yeah, there's a low grav area which is cool, and that was the first kind of area where it was like a different type of, it was like underwater or like low gravity, or like that was the first ever kind of area they added that had different, you know, movement dynamics other than I guess Moon, um, maybe. Uh, yeah. Just trying to think. Fuck. What else did they add to the map? Yeah, the map didn't really add a shit ton. You could build the Ragnaroks on it, which are cool. Yeah, I was actually playing it earlier. Funny enough. But yeah. And then Zetsubo, I'd probably put in average, but I'd probably put um behind carrier. Yeah, I'm gonna put it behind carrier. Um, in my whenever I played the map was just too tedious to be honest. Like it was like an unfun tedious, where like Origins is a fun tedious. The only thing really good about the map is the dual martial pistol things. pistol shotgun things were really fun to use. I like the mini boss fight thing with the big spider. The Easter egg boss fights was okay. I mean, the Horizon Easter egg was actually like the boss fight was fucking hella fun. I remember me and my friend played it, and I had near death experience on, and he kept fucking dying, and I was just tanking HP from the Panzers and shit. I remember that being like probably the hardest boss fight. Um, Other than maybe the Ancient Evil Gauntlet boss fight, which is fucking weird, but yeah, I never down on him, but I remember being red screened many times and like being like, this is pretty more intense than I thought it was gonna be, to be honest. Um, but yeah, Zetsubo, I just really don't like any of the planting shit. Yeah, I like the dual martial things and the wonder weapon, the um KT4 and the Mass Mune are really fun and really good. I honestly think it's like a better version of the Solidifier, like a more fun version of the Solidifier. It is very similar, but I just like how it looks and it feels better to use. Yeah, there was the spiders in the map, which could like fucking cobweb certain areas. I just remember there being a lot of different buildables and shit, but they all were really unfun to fucking build. Um, yeah, yeah, I do remember when Zetsubou came out. I didn't play it very much right when it came out. Like I did play quite a bit of Horizon, but I didn't play a lot of fucking Zetsubou. I actually didn't play a shit ton of Horizon either. Horizon and Zetsubou for some reason I didn't play a whole lot when they came out. Um, but I did play them right when they came out. Um, but yeah, I'd probably put that in average. Gorod, I played quite a bit when it came out. Believe it or not, maybe the most overrated map in my opinion. Not the most, but like one of the most. Definitely put it better than that. I'd probably put Gorod. Yeah, probably right there to be honest. Maybe even below Carrier. Nah, I'd probably put it right about there. Yeah, I don't know. Gorod just fucking. I didn't. I don't know what it was about the map, but I just didn't really like. Like I liked the pack much camo. That was cool. The Mark threes, like the Wonder Weapon, were pretty shit to be honest. They were not very fun to use, and they were pretty ass. The one really cool thing about the map was the Gauntlet of Siegfried. Um, or is it yeah, I always forget. Is it the shovel that's a gauntlet or the fucking the specialist ability they can build and fly around? Oh yeah, I forgot about the fucking yeah, the one in Zetsubo too, the Skull of Non-Stopway or whatever it's called, however you pronounce it. That shit honestly might be like my favorite or like the best specialist ability like in all of zombies. That thing is fucking really. It looked really cool and it was really fun to use. Unfortunately, it just wasn't on like a great map. But yeah, same thing with both these maps. Honestly, not great maps, but probably had the two coolest specialty abilities. Like the gauntlet thing, you basically had like a fucking fist you could punch, and then there was like a fucking dragon that you could like fly up in the air and it like burn zombies and do certain shit like that. I honestly didn't use it a whole lot because I didn't play Gorod a shit ton, but yeah, that was fun to use. Other than that, the pack punch area was cool. How you go on the dragon. The boss fight was cool, but I just didn't really like the map just for playing. Just the layout of the map, I really didn't enjoy. I don't know. It's weird because like I feel like I should like the map, but I just never did. Revelations. I'd put Revelations above all these. I'd probably put Revelations at the best and average. Um, Actually, no, I'm gonna put Revelations above 5. I'm gonna put it right there. Do I like it better than Buried? Uh, Fuck. I should have thought about this before. No, I'm gonna put it right there. I do like how like, the map was probably one of the easiest maps ever, just because of like how much OP shit you could have with the Little Ernies, the Ragnarok, you could have the Thunder Gun and the Apothecon Servant at the same time, which are like it just really made no sense. I don't know. The Apothecon Servant's like the most broken over wonder weapon of all time. Matched with the Thunder Gun being probably like one of the better wonder weapons for if you get trapped in a corner. So you basically have a wonder weapon to kill a fuck ton of zombies hella easy, and another one for if you get trapped, it's really good to get out of spots with it. Yeah, the boss fight was, or the Easter egg was decent on this map. Um, I remember the boss fight not being very hard, but it was kind of fun. Yeah, what else did they add? Didn't add any new perks. I think the only new perk they added to BO3 was Widow's Wand, if I can remember. Um, yeah, I played Revelations a fucking lot. I got to. This is probably out of any map the highest average round I got into. My average round on this map is probably like 80 something, because I'd always play this map during double XP and like get to around 80 and then back out. I did get to 100 I got to 101 on Revelations, and then I got really tired and fucking left the game, got off. But yeah, that's where I put Revelations. And then Space on Zombies. Fuck, this is an absolute banger right here. I'm probably gonna put Baseline. Oh, I gotta really think about this. Do I like it better than Call of the Dead? Hmm. No, I'm gonna put, especially since Call of the Dead came out like five and a half, 5.5 years before Spaceland. I'm gonna put Call of the Dead slightly better, but Spaceland was fucking extremely fun. It was IW Zombies was like the one zombies where I was like, I was actually like it was better than I thought it was gonna be. Everything about the map, just like the fucking how it looks, the layout of it, the wonder weapons, the Easter egg, like the characters, everything on the map was, well, the characters. I don't. The IW characters weren't like amazing, but they weren't horrible. But yeah, the ray gun fucking wonder weapons were hella fun to use. I'd always get the Discord because I feel like that one was the best. But I enjoyed the steps of doing that. I like the boss zombie, the brute. Um, was really cool. The arcade, you could play a bunch of different games, you get tickets, and then there was like a fucking thing where you could use your tickets to buy different shit. Like uh, there was like the freeze wonder weapon gun. There was just a bunch of different like specialist nades you can buy. Uh, yeah, a lot of cool shit like that. Spaceline was just a really fucking fun map. Um, and then the traps were dope on that map, like the bumper cars and all that. Yeah. And there's also the ride. That fucking ride was really dope too, where you get tickets and shit. But yeah, Raven the Redwoods. Fuck, it's probably been over an hour, yeah. It's gotta be about an hour. Fuck. Gotta like, I'm so slow at doing shit like this. Rave, I'd probably put at, where'd I put Rave? Honestly, one of the more underrated maps, I'd probably put Rave like right there. Um, I really enjoyed Rave. The acid rain was dope. Like all the fucking crossbows were hella fucking fun. One of them was ass. The Trap-O-Matic one was pretty bad. And then yeah, the other three were pretty good though. But especially the acid rain, that one was fucking dope. Um, the boss fight was really cool. And I like how in IW each map had like a different celebrity character. Spaceline it was David Hasselhoff. This one it was Kevin Smith. Um, Bull Shadowlin it was, what's her name? I forget her fucking name. Attack it was Elvira or something like that. And then Beast I don't think they even had one. I can't remember. Um, but yeah, Rave is probably like one of the more underrated maps of all time. Especially I like pretty much all of IW other than like Spaceline because I know a lot of people, most people really rate Spaceline high, but rate the rest of the maps not, which is I think pretty retarded. But yeah, I just really enjoyed Rave. I don't know, it was a really fun fucking map. Like everything, like the Rave mode was cool, where you're basically like, I forget what you do. You go up to a bonfire and you basically get fucking high on acid. It was pretty weird, but um yeah, this whole map was really fun. I remember I think Rave might be the highest round I've ever gotten on a first playthrough. I think I had to like 60 on it the first time the map came out. Like the first game I played. I think it was, yeah, me and my friend, but then he backed out at like 30 and then I played another 30 rounds. But yeah, Rave was hella fun. Shaolin, I'm gonna have to put in probably right there. Um, yeah, Shaolin I think definitely was like quite a step down from Raven Spaceline. I mainly because I didn't like the cheap powers that were ass. And yeah, the map was it was decent, but it definitely wasn't great. Yeah, I don't. There's nothing really else I can add about the map. Um, I just didn't like the cheap powers made the map a lot worse in my opinion. If they just added a regular wonder weapon, I feel like it could have been like higher. But yeah, I don't really have anything to say about Shaolin to be honest. Attack of the radioactive thing, I'd probably add right there. Um, yeah, attack might be up there for one of the most underrated maps also. Um, I think the wonder weapon wasn't terrible. The I really like the map layout. I know people always complain about it being like black and white until you turn the power on and all that shit, but I think that's cool. Like I think it's a cool addition because of it taking place in the 50s or whatever and all that. The boss fight was really cool. Um, Same thing. I don't really have a lot to add. I I always like this is the one map I remember. Um, I was I wasn't home when it came out. Like, I didn't play it until about a week after it came out, so yeah, but I did enjoy the map. It was a fun map. I didn't play it a whole of a lot, hell of a lot, but yeah. And then Beast from Beyond, I'm gonna have to put down here probably. Fuck, bro. Probably like right there. Beast was pretty ass. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really. Like, it was a big step down from the rest of the maps, especially Spaceline. It kind of got worse every map, like except for I mean I think Attack is better than Shaolin, but yeah, the map was just like fuck, hella boring. I don't know. I didn't play it much when it came out. I remember the Wonder Weapon being kind of cool in it. The X, I forgot what it was fucking called, but um, yeah, the boss fight was pretty bad in this map too, with like the COD Ghost fucking alien things. Um, but yeah, and then we got the final Reich. I'll probably put the final Reich at um probably probably right there. I remember when it came out. I still have my first playthrough that I never uploaded, and I just kept it on a storage drive for some reason. I have no idea why, but um, yeah. The boss fight on this was pretty good. Like the Easter egg, it was like not bad. The Wonder Weapon was alright in that, like the Tesla gun thing, but other than that, um, the map just wasn't. It honestly wasn't that memorable. Um, and it was I don't know, kind of boring. I played it a semi okay amount when the game came out, but World War II Zombies was pretty shit. So there's that. But yeah. I actually the PPSH. I remember they had the PPSH, and I think it was in all the World War II maps, maybe, but there was the regular one, and I think in this map there was the classic, which is like the classic PPSH, which was really fun to use and it was really good. But other than that, yeah, and also they added the armor system into World War II, which I don't like at all because they've basically added it in. It wasn't in BO4, but it was in Cold War, and I don't really like the armor system in Cold War or in Vanguard. I mean, is there the armor system in Vanguard? I can't even remember. I've only played the map twice, so yeah. And then Groskin House, which was a very small map. Um, Probably I think the smallest map of all time. The thing I really remember about this is there being the little grenades, the jumping jack or the Jack in a Box grenade thing, which are really cool. But I probably put it. Uh, I'm gonna put it right there. I'm gonna put it right above Noct, just because it's like I feel like it's like in there with Noct being really boring. But I feel like I'm only putting it better just because Jack in the Box grenades, and I believe there was a way to pack a punch. Um, but yeah, it's just really basic map. I think it's a little bit more interesting than Noct and a little bit and quite a bit harder, so it made it more fun. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it about. I don't really have a lot to say about fucking lot of these World War II maps, but Darkest Shore. This was the most ass Easter egg ever. I remember. We tried it twice and we could never do it. Uh, and I remember this map might have the scariest mini boss ever. That fucking Moikler or whatever the hell that thing was called. That thing creeped the fuck out of me, especially coming out of the fog. That it's like the scariest thing in zombies. That thing scared the shit out of me. But um, yeah, I'd probably put it in lackluster, right about there. Probably it was pretty bad. It wasn't great. Like I said, there's not a lot of. I didn't say this, but there's really not a lot of maps I really hate. Um, but yeah, just a lot that are like lackluster and kind of mid. But yeah, and then the Shadowed Throne. I'm trying to think. Shadowed Throne. I would put. I know there's some people who think this map's really good, but I'm gonna put it right about there. I remember this is the map that you go up in the blimp for the Easter egg, and I remember that was also like back-to-back maps, probably the most annoying boss fights and Easter eggs that me and my friends did in the forum, man. They were fucking annoying. We never completed either of them, just because like I remember both the Easter eggs, all my friends dying, and then me having to try to like clutch it out with fucking like no ammo or anything, and like it just being so annoying. So yeah, I might even put Shadow Throne in. No, I'm putting average because I do remember it being like okay, but not great. And then we got the Torture Path. That's straight and painful. I think it's better than Nuketown. Fuck, actually. No, let me think about that. I'm gonna put it worse than Nuketown, mainly because I only ever played the first room and I only ever played this map twice. And there was like with this map, there was like 3 different areas. It's like the first time they've ever really done this, where you kind of like move through the 3 different areas through like some kind of teleportation shit. Then you go back to the spawn and then you go through. It wasn't like one flowing map. It was like 3 maps in one almost. It was. I just remember it being terrible. I only ever played it like twice, and I never left the first room. I remember it being really ass though. That's the main reason why I never played it again. It was just so fucking ass and so boring. Um, but yeah. And then we got the Frozen Dawn. I'm gonna be honest, I only ever played this map once, right when it came out, and I remember my game crashing. It was me and my friend playing 2 player. He got the MG42 from the box. His game crashed, and then I got the MG42 from the box, and my game crashed. So that gun literally made both of our games crash, and I never loaded up and played it again. I don't know why, but I've seen a little bit of gameplay, and it looks okay. So I'm gonna put it at the end of lackluster, just because I never really played it. So I don't really know. It's out of all these maps, the least played map by far. I only ever played it once, and I only ever spent 15 minutes in the map. So, yeah, I remember just after I like desktop, like my game crashed, just thinking like I'm not even gonna play the map again. Like World War II is so ass, I don't even care. But yeah. Voyage of Despair. I'm gonna put um right behind that's actually no. I'm gonna put it above Zetsubo. I'm gonna put it right there. Um, I actually didn't mind Zetsubo, or not Zetsubo. Voyage. Actually, do I like Voyage better than Gora? No, I definitely played Voyage a lot more than Gora, but I actually didn't. I don't know. I think a lot of people shit on Voyage. I don't think it's actually that terrible, but it definitely could have been better. The Krakens definitely could have been better. The Easter egg, I remember being a lot of people think it was tedious. I never usually do any of the steps really. I'll usually build certain wonder weapons that you need for the Easter egg, but um, yeah, out of everyone, I'm usually just like the best player out of everyone, so I'm usually just like if everyone downs, I clutch it out always. Um, so I remember on this boss fight, us doing it, and my friends all having a lot of downs, and pretty much every Easter egg I'd always have 0. Um, but I remember the gauntlet for Voyage being pretty tough. Like not even the hard, like there's a hard version of it. Like the regular version, we had like a lot of trouble. I think we did like 4 times just because like we would always fail on a certain step. Um, and fuck yeah. Yeah, but I remember when we completed the gauntlet, we were like really fucking hyped. But Yeah, Voyage could have been better, but I don't think it was terrible. The map just had a little bit of like it wasn't super fluid. It had a little bit of problems, but yeah, it could have been worse, honestly. And yeah, fucking 9, possibly in my opinion the most overrated map ever. I'd put honestly, I do trying to think. I'm gonna put it like just above Voyage. The map is literally just a middle area where it's just a circle, and then it's literally like two sides, and then there's four corners basically of the map, and like it's basically like a mirrored version of the map. Like literally both sides have the same thing. Like it's just a big square basically. Like the map is like hella fucking boring. The wonder weapon on it is really fucking poopy. Like it's like kind of reminds me like the Wonder Weapon, but like a shit version of it. Kind of launches zombies up in the air and like electrocutes them, and after like round I feel like 40, it's like really ass and useless. The homunculus, which are on this map, I think they're also on Voyage, but I feel like they're made for this map just because like it's like a fits in the time period and all that. Like a gladiator type thing. But yeah, the homunculus is one of my favorite special weapons of all time or special equipment. But yeah, really nothing else to say about the map. I do like the mini boss, the can I think of him? The little fucking alien thing that's tall as fucking. I can't think of what his name is, but yeah. And then the other mini bosses, like the gladiator guys, I actually enjoyed those. Those were like pretty balanced and like fun to kill and all that. And then the tigers were decent, but yeah, the map was just hella boring. I don't know. There's really like nothing to the map, in my opinion. I don't like. Just, I don't know. It's weird. I like the shield too, but I don't know. Um, yeah. Um, what was I gonna add? Add something else. Um, can't remember. Yeah. Blood of the Dead, also another, I think, slightly underrated map. I don't think it's terrible, but I'd probably put Blood. Um, where would I put it? I put it above 9. Okay. Probably put Blood like here. Um, yeah, I like the Magmagat. The map is decent. It's just shitty that they like took out the Alcatraz, the fucking Golden Gate Bridge, or Golden State Bridge, or whatever the fuck it's called. I really like that Pack-a-Punch area. I'm glad that there's no afterlife on the map. But I don't know. It's just like a downgrade, obviously, of Mob, because it's Mob had like the cool, like interesting like characters. Not that the regular crew isn't cool, but it's cool when you have the maps that have like their own characters. That are only in that one map. But yeah, I remember the Easter egg. Like everyone hated doing that, and we had a tough time. All my friends had a tough time doing it. They took us like 3 hours to do it. The boss fight was kind of fucking boring too. The cutscene was cool, but um, yeah. Other than that, nothing really else to say about Blood, I guess. Yeah. Classified. I'd probably put Classified at where to put Classified. Do I think it's better than the Giant? Um, n- no, I'm gonna put Classified right behind Giant. And Great. Um, honestly, I feel like moving up Descent to Great too, but um. I'm not going to just because how bad AW was. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna put Classified there. Classified was a fucking really good remake of 5. I didn't like that they took out the Pentagon Thief. It's really the only thing I complain about though. I like how there's like extra areas in the spawn area and the second. Yeah, there's like like another room in the middle floor. Um, and in spawn there's like a big extra room. I liked that they majorly up buffed the Winter's Howl on that map. That map was just really fun to grind on for XP and like just camp and try to rank up guns and shit. Um, yeah, I just really enjoyed Classified. Even though it was a really simple map, it was just really fun to play. I don't know. Dead of the Night, I'd put in, dude. Honestly, Dead of the Night. honestly, no cap, I'm probably gonna put it in perfect above Horizon. Dead of the Night's probably the most underrated map of all time. I know the YouTuber NoJ456 put it in his own tier as the worst, which that guy's got to have some good ass meth or crack. I don't know what he's smoking on, but it's got to be that good shit. Cause I don't know. I know I remember the release. I don't really remember like the pre-release. So like the what's the word? The like Treyarch did not fucking market this map before it came out good at all. I can't think of the word. I know a lot of people saying like that they don't even remember, like didn't even know the map came out until after it came out. I literally remember being hyped like like a month before, or like a week before the map coming out, knowing it was coming out. It did come out at a weird spot. I think it's like the only DLC to ever come out like in December. Usually the DLCs start coming out in like February of the next year, but it came out because BO4 came out in October, a month earlier. I guess DLC came out like a month and a half before it was what they usually do. But yeah, this map is hella fucking fun. I don't mind the characters. I know a lot of people hate this dude, like he always makes weird noises, and this chick sounds really retarded. But um, I don't mind. I think these two characters are cool. I don't really like her. I kind of find him funny. He's kind of a bad character, but um, yeah, the map. I just everything about the map is really cool. Like the Nosferatu were quite annoying that they'd hit you and kind of you couldn't like gain health for a little bit back. Like they kind of fucked up the stamina on your health or whatever. But there's the regular ones. The red Nosferatu were cool. It's kind of annoying that they jump on your face, but the werewolf were really dope. The steak knife thing was really cool. There's the you could build downstairs. I think it's for the Easter egg. The crossbow thing was cool, and then the wonder weapon on this map, the Alistair's Fully or whatever, and then the upgraded version. I forgot what it was called, but that shit was hella dope. There's like four different like versions of it, not versions, but like you shoot it, and like it would every four like shots, it would kind of change the ability, like what it would do. One of them would melt zombies into the ground. One of them would turn them, spin them around, and I can't actually really remember what they fucking did because I haven't played the map in so long. But I do remember enjoying building that. I know a lot of people I feel like hate it because of it being really tedious, but it really isn't that tedious. I don't find. I feel like maps that I think are tedious are maps that are just like really big. Like Origins and Mob are like more tedious to me because they're really big, and it's like I don't know. It's like you have to go so far to build this and go back and forth. Where with Dead of the Night, it's really not like that big of a map. Like it's decent size, but it's not. You're not gonna be running through mud forever. But um, yeah. The one of them really wasn't that bad to build. And it was really fun to use. You could also get it in the box, but to upgrade, it wasn't that bad. Yeah. I don't know. I just really liked all the areas of the map. How there was like the one map where there's the laboratory thing or whatever. The other side there was a graveyard. And all that shit was really cool. I just really liked the theme of the map. It was, a big manor. It was like at nighttime, and I like the spawn or the spawn, the pack punch area, and like the whole map was just really cool. It was a fun ass map to play. Um, but yeah, pretty much it. With that, Ancient Evil. Where'd I put Ancient Evil? I'd probably put it. A lot of maps I'm putting perfect. I'd probably put it. Um, Trying to think. I'd probably put Ancient Evil maybe right there. It's really hard to like Deriz is just so out of order because I look at it and I'm like, I'd have way more fun playing Ancient Evil right now than Deriz, but Deriz like the time period that it came out, not even based on nostalgia, just like for like how old it is and like how much it added to the zombies. Like I gotta put it here. This not list would be a little bit different if it was like how much fun it is to play, because obviously like I have knocked and shit at the bottom just because they're really bare bones and boring, but they were the first map, so you got to give them like a little bit more, you know, lay layaway or whatever the fuck the word is. Um, but fuck, dude, I think Ancient Evil is better than Deriz. The gauntlets are dope. I'm gonna probably put it like slightly behind it just because of the time period. Otherwise, I would put it ahead of it, but um, I don't know. Yeah, Ancient Evil is great. It's really hard for these two. Some days I probably put Dead of the Night better, but I just like how there's the four unique wonder weapons. The gauntlets, like the Charon, the Charon, or however you pronounce it, the one I always used. Um, and I can't remember all the names. There's the wind one. There's the blue one that would I think it was like a wind one, and there's the one that would launch. No, no. Fuck. There was one that would like launch a Mach like a thunder gun. There was like a green one where it would like grow roots and plants. That one was kind of ass. And then there was the other one where it was like kind of like a big beam. It always reminds me of the Hammer of Dawn from Gears of War. I can't remember what they're called because I haven't played it in so long. But one of them was called like the Hamera, Sharon, and then I honestly can't remember the other two because it's just been so long. But um, yeah, the Gauntlet was hella fun on this map. I remember the boss fight for the Gauntlet was like the hardest boss fight of all time. Like even if you include all the Easter eggs and all the gauntlets, like I think I died about 4 times or down about 4 times in the boss fight, which is like pretty crazy for me. Like I usually never down on the whole like throughout a whole Easter egg. It's pretty rare, but this one was just like I just got fucked up like 3 times in a row. Um, but yeah, I have the full gameplay for it, and it's like really funny. But um, yeah, I really like the shield in this map was dope. You could like throw a spear with it. The big dude, fucking mini boss guy was cool. Yeah, the boss fight for the gauntlet and the Easter egg, they were like the same area, but those were both fun. Um, yeah, also, I didn't mind the Dead of the Night boss fight too. It wasn't amazing. I like the Ancient Evil one better, but it was still pretty cool. Um, Trying to think. Yeah, so yeah, Alpha Omega, another hella underrated map. Where would I put that? I'm gonna put Alpha Omega right here, and I'm honestly gonna slide it like that. Um, yeah. Is it better than Rave? Do I think it's better than Rave? Um, it's so hard to say because like in my mind I'm just like they're so equal. Um, yeah. Um, no, I'm gonna keep it there. Yeah, Alpha Omega probably I guess this might be the most underrated map of all time. That and Dead of the Night, honestly. Just because I know a lot of people really like didn't like BO4 and straight up I think BO4 had better map. Like I like the HUD better in BO3 and I like most of the stuff better in BO3, but map wise, I think BO4 had a decently better maps just because like see I've ranked them like I think like Shadows and Horizon were really great, but Gorod, Zetsubo, and Revelations and yeah, Gorod and I wouldn't really add the Giant like that doesn't really add a whole lot. It's not really like, part of the story or whatever, but I guess you can add it. But um yeah, just like the other maps on BO3, like they're all like middling. Like they're not like you can see how I've ranked them. I don't think Zetsubo or fucking Gorod are I don't think they're like great maps by any means. Um so if you look at my BO4 ranking, like I'm not even done it yet, but I have two in the top tier and two in A tier. I don't have any BO4 maps. Oh no, I have Voyage down here, and nine, yeah. But yeah. Overall, that I just think BO4 had better maps. Like I don't know why people think BO3 is so amazing. I think probably because Zombie Chronicles, but you can't really add that. Like that's like a separate DLC, and that's like remade maps. Like you can't add that like at when you're comparing maps and shit. But yeah. And tag. Where would I add tag? Um, Honestly, I'd probably also add tag up here. Believe it or not, I'd probably put it. Where'd I put tag? Honestly, fuck. I'm trying to think if what I like better. I'd probably put tag right here, actually. Um, Honestly, like part of me wants to put it above Ancient Evil, but I just think the boss fight was better in Ancient Evil. The tag was really let down by it not having a boss fight at all. Really, like it had like an ending area, but there was really no boss. Yeah, the Samantha boxes were hella dope. The Golden Pack-a-Punch was sick. I'm really, it's really rattling that they didn't bring back the Scavenger and make it like better. If they did that, I probably would put it fucking like up here. But um, yeah, the Tundra Gun definitely underrated. It isn't like great, but it's not like horrible as some people think it is. It can still one shot to like if you're playing normal mode. I want to say I haven't gotten like over. I think I've gotten like 60 on this map, and it was still one shotting. But um, yeah, there's also the Matryoshka dolls. I think on this were they on BO4 tag? No, I don't think they were. I can't remember. Actually, I think they were. I'm pretty sure they were. But the Samantha boxes were really fun to use. Those were definitely better. Um, and they're only on this map. But yeah, I'm trying to think. The Tundra Gun and the Thunder Gun are on this map. This is like the most wonder weapons in a single map for um like not unique, but like other than like the stabs and shit, 'cause those are like the same kind of wonder weapon. But this there was a Tundra Gun, the Thunder Gun, and the Wonderwaff thing. I forget what it was called. It was like a sniper full auto version of the Wonderwaff kind of, which was it wasn't great. And I feel like that and the Tundra Gun could have been better, but I still always use the Tundra Gun over the Thunder Gun on that map just because um it didn't have it wasn't infinite damage like the Thunder Gun, but it was more fun to use and it was honestly better on the lower rounds. And yeah, you just need a PhD for it really, which is kind of a bummer, but yeah. Um, what else was on this map? It brought back the BO2 characters, which was kind of cool, but I feel like a lot of BO4 was rushed, especially especially some of the maps you could feel that were rushed, like tag, but I think they were still really like I feel like they got really lucky and still came out with really good maps. Like it's kind of shitty because if they didn't rush it, I feel like the maps could have been better. But I feel like if BO4 wasn't rushed, they wouldn't have came out with Tag and Alpha Omega. They would have been different maps, possibly better. But I think they just got really lucky with these maps, in my opinion, and they weren't actually that bad. But yeah. Now moving on to Cold War, which I'm not really a fan of Cold War. I liked Cold War more than World War II and Exo Zombies by quite a bit, but I think it was quite a bit worse than IW. It was kind of in a league of its own because there was like World War II and Exo, which were trash. There was BO3, and there's World at War, BO1, BO3, BO4, and IW, which were all really good, and then BO2, which was just like really hit and miss. Like Origins and Mob were really good, but like the other maps weren't great. Like Barrier was decent. It was like BO2 was all over the place. And then Cold War was just wasn't even the maps. It was just like the mechanics of the game, the HUD, like everything. It was just like I didn't really enjoy like the crafting tables and like the armor system and shit. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like Treyarch, even though Treyarch made it. To me, it just strays too far away from what Treyarch Zombies always felt like, in my opinion. But um, yeah, D Machine, I'd probably put an average. Trying to think, I'd probably put it about above Zetsubo, above on a right. Hmm. I'd probably put D Machine right about there. The spawn's kind of cool, but there's really nothing great on the map. I mean, the ray gun they had, like Cold War was definitely has had the best ray gun since like BO1. They finally like brought back the good ray gun. Um, and yeah, the wonder weapons on this map, the fuck, what are they called? Can't really remember what they're called, but they're all right. The gas one was pretty good. But yeah, um, really nothing else I can add to the map. I remember the Easter egg being super easy. All the Cold War Easter eggs were fucking extremely easy, but I don't know. Cold War was just hella boring. Like they didn't really like. I wasn't really excited for any of the maps. Even though I put them all on launch, Firebase Z I think is a bit better. I put Firebase Z right between these two. Um, yeah. What was the fucking Wonder Weapon again? Oh, the KT or not the KT4, the Reich. Ray K was alright. Boss fight was extremely easy on the Easter egg in this map. Um, yeah, just kind of a really basic map. Honestly, actually, I put Firebase Z below Gorod. Yeah. Even though it came out like, I think Firebase Z only came out what, probably eight. I don't know, probably almost a year ago actually. But yeah, I don't know. Just fucking not a lot to say about the fucking cold board maps to be honest. But Outbreak, which is obviously different, it's almost like a game mode, and there's like 5 different maps, and it's kind of similar to Torture Path, but they actually did it right. Like they're fucking massive maps. There's a lot to do on them. There's like challenge like missions you have to do to get past every map. Like there's usually just one. Then there's like 2 or 3, 4 side missions you could also do each map to get points or like have a chance to get the wonder weapon or whatever. Um, I wouldn't mind seeing Outbreak come back in future zombies, but I also don't really want it to because I feel like it takes up a lot of the dev, time that the devs have to work on the game, and like I didn't love it. Like I would have way rather seen the Gauntlets or Grief because I think those game modes are much better than Outbreak. But Outbreak's still like decent. I just didn't love it. I'd probably put it. It's almost like a game mode, but it's still like there's maps in it. But I'd probably put Outbreak at probably like about right about there. Yeah, Outbreak was fun, but they're just not unique maps. They just feel like I don't know multiplayer maps that you're playing on with zombies in it. I don't know. Um, yeah, and then Martyr Totem I'd probably put at probably I probably put it actually. Boom maps buried. I probably put it. Would I put it better than buried? Yeah, probably put it better than buried. Mauer's actually a really good map. The Wonder Weapon is really cool on with the fucking olive that would rotate around it, and then there's like 2 or 3 different versions you can pick up off the ground when you kill zombies. Um, yeah, I did the boss fight for this actually not too long ago, like 3 months ago probably. Yeah, that was decent. But yeah, I just like it's in Germany or whatever. I feel like the map would have definitely been quite a bit better if it was like more like if it was like on BO3 engine or something. But I still did enjoy the map. Actually, I'm gonna put it below buried. Actually, fuck that. Um, yeah, if it was honestly, if this map was on like BO2 engine, I'd be putting it above buried. But it's just like I've had way more fun on buried, and like I just enjoy the map. I just enjoy Cold War less than the rest of Treyarch games, really. So it's I don't know the the game itself definitely lowers the maps for me. Forsaken, I'm actually gonna put great, and I'm gonna put um probably right about there. Would I put it better than? I'm gonna put it above Rave. Forsaken was actually really good. I feel like if this map was on like I said, a more Treyarchy cut like BO3 or BO4, this map would definitely be in the S tier. Forsaken was like I just really like it's a really cool map. Like it's like inside like a pyramid, but it's like a city inside a pyramid, and it's like different types of cities back to back or whatever. I don't even know how to explain it, but I actually really did enjoy Forsaken. The Wonder Weapon was really cool. The Crystal Axe, hella fun to use. Yeah, the Pack-a-Punch area is cool. There's like a radiation. You can't stay in there for too long. Um, what was the fucking boss on this map again? I don't remember. I remember what the boss was on this map. I haven't played fucking a lot of the Cold War maps in a few months, so I can't really remember. But um, yeah, Forsaken was actually really enjoyable. And yeah, I really did like it. And then we got Der and Fang. Um, I'm gonna have to put Duran Fang. I'm gonna put it better than both these maps. Yeah, I'm gonna put still painful. Duran Fang's still a terrible fucking map. I've only played it twice. Um, but I feel like the map's just bad because it's on Vanguard. Well, not just because it's just like it's not round based, where pretty much all these maps are except Outbreak, which is his own game mode. But Duran Fang feels like a side game mode, which it's similar to Outbreak, but like I guess it is pretty similar to Outbreak, but all the maps are way smaller and the HUD is terrible on fucking Vanguard, and there's no wonder weapons, and just everything about the map and the game is really fucking boring. Like I literally was bored 20 minutes into playing it. Like I've only played it twice, and I think both times I just left after like 7 waves or whatever it was. Like the map is just really fucking boring. Honestly, no, I'm gonna put it worse than Nuketown. Um, yeah. So I do think the Torture Path is the worst map ever, just because I just remember it being fucking hella boring. Like honestly, worse than Durant, like more boring than Durant Fang. Um, but yeah. Actually, wait, Frozen Dawn. Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. I guess that's pretty much my list. There's a few things I'm looking at now that I would move, but I feel like that's pretty accurate and pretty good and pretty accurate to what I think. Um, Looking at it now, I almost like almost feel like I like Forsaken more than Mob, but I just don't like Cold War that much. So Forsaken being this high up is fucking pretty good. Just just based on like how shitty I think fucking Cold War is, but I don't think it's shitty. I just think it's like could have been so much better. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. It's probably been over an hour long, but yeah. So thanks for watching, guys, and yeah. Oh, actually, I should also mention I'll probably be doing a lot more of these like Wonder Weapon fucking tier lists and stuff, but they'll obviously all be way shorter just because like I feel like maps you talk about like everything where if Wonder Weapon you just talk about the actual gun, you know. Um I probably won't do an Easter egg one just because to be honest, I for most of these Easter eggs I don't really do a lot of the steps. Like I do some of them for some of these Easter eggs, but um yeah. That's pretty much it, guys, and yeah.